life. Hold on. So, the insurance company, right? The insurance company for my cats, they somehow managed to lose the policy. It's fixed now. However, that's what I was fixing earlier today while you were doing your meeting. But they kept texting me saying, you haven't paid your bill. You need to pay your bill so that we can reinstate so that there's no lapse in coverage, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I paid it. It's already been paid. It just seems to have disappeared from my account. And now after I fixed it, they just sent me a text and were like, we apologize for any inconvenience. Please get in contact with us so we can fix this for you. God damn it. Why do I keep doing this? Load. Yes. All right. So here we are. Let's wait. Hold on. So there was actually a little bit of information about what was going on. When we went through her computer, she was in the process of discussing the Tommyknockers as well as the Ditchlings. Let's check the mines. I guess there's a decent chance Stella went there to find your cousin. I can't say I get it, but it's definitely something she would do. Come on, I'll drive us. All right. You follow Kanika to her van. It isn't long before you find yourselves outside the Scarlet mines. There's a small gathering of workers outside the entrance to the mines, picket signs in hand. Better hours now or none at all. I am unhappy with the treatment I am receiving as a worker in the Scarlet mines. Man, that is a wordy picket sign. Well written, though. Well written. Is this a strike? They're striking? Good for them. But I kind of thought there'd be more of them, you know? I hope it's not weird to talk to them while they're in the middle of all of this. Well, if it isn't the boss's cousin. Hail and well met, fellow countrymen. What goes on here? The miners stare at you. A strike? We're petitioning the boss for better working conditions. Nobody wants to go back in there after the collapse, not for what we're paid and how we're treated. Not that we need to be telling you anything. Fuck it. I'm behind you folks 100%. Good to hear the boss's cousin is on our side. Maybe it'll get more people to join us out here. Yo, I am in such shit with Tabitha at the end of the day here. Like, holy crap, Tabitha's gonna fucking hate me. That's okay though. Yeah, we appreciate the support. And if there's anything you can do to get her to come to the table and start negotiating. Have any of you seen Stella? She's missing. The YouTuber? She's the one on all the banned from property posters, right? We haven't seen her. And we've been out here all day, so we'd know if she'd come by. Oh no, this isn't looking good. We'll make sure to keep an eye out. Okay, if I'm helping y'all out here, do you mind if I go talk to my cousin? Nope, fuck Tabitha, let's go. That means we don't have to talk to Tabitha. That's fine by me. Fuck Tabitha. Bye. We've done our due diligence here. Come on, I'll drive you back to town. We can figure out our next move from there. Sorry, Danielle. I don't like her. No. All right. Let's talk to Oscar. I mean, she might have gone back to Oscar after everything settled down to sort of, I mean, they were all involved in this together, right? Oh, nothing else happened after we all went home last night. They're so brave for sleeping in that house after everything we went through. I'd rather sleep in the woods with the ditchlings than some place that was that haunted. Morning light streams in through the library's large windows. In the bright daylight, the library is once again a place of comfort, all menace having fled in the wake of Charles Shaw Jr.'s departure. No ghost, thank God. I was not up for an encore. You can't help but overhear the murmurings of an intense conversation coming from the mayor's office. Talk to animals. Or rather, the murmurings of an intense animal conversation. Leave dog politics to the dogs. No, I'm going to investigate the conversation. You start making your way upstairs towards the mayor's office. He's going to hear me. Hey, where are you going? A small gang of dogs holds court in the mayor's office. Most of the dogs quietly watch from the sidelines, but two of them, a sheepdog and a basset hound, are in a heated conversation with Mayor Jimmy. Their tags read Scraps and Daisy. The court of canines. It sounds like you've all sorted this out. I don't see why you need me to do any... I don't see what you need me to do about any of it. Sorted? Things ain't sorted until this town is safe. Now, we may have got the beginnings of a militia forming. I'm here, baby. I need kittens. Protect me from the doggos. Yes. Now, we may have got the beginnings of a militia forming, but there's... I don't know, did it? Hold on. Oh, I was looking away from it. That's all. It happens. Yeah, I was leaning to go grab the kitten. I needed feline protection from the canine militia. They're the only ones that can keep them in line. But there's plenty of pets out there who are still ill-informed about those things crawling out of the woods. You're the mayor. They'll listen to you. Just tell them to stay inside until it's handled. Listen, Scraps, buddy, I hear you. But the last thing we need right now is anarchy in the streets. It's no use. I told you he'd be bullheaded. He's always bullheaded. Always the sore loser, aren't we, Daisy? Things are fine. Nobody has to worry about a thing. The mayor pulls himself away from the conversation to acknowledge you. Oh, ho, ho, I remember you. You're that out-of-towner from yesterday. The speaker. The speaker? The other dogs murmur amongst themselves for a moment, then turn to face you. I'm sorry you had to see this little display. Politics can get so messy. Good doggies. Actually, you know what? This isn't a bad idea. Have any of you seen or smelled Stella, Gretchen's human friend? She's lost and we're trying to find her. Oh dear, poor Gretchen. We heard about what happened to her. To think those awful creatures could get to a dog whose human cared about her so much. It just goes to show that we've got to look out for ourselves if we're going to survive. If the humans can't save us, we'll have to save ourselves. Yes, I get it. You're all very upset. Oh my God. But what do you expect me to do about it? Shut down the town? What about economy? Do you even know what economy is, Jimmy? Or are you just throwing around fancy words you've heard the humans say? Of course I know what economy is. I know all about economyism. Oh, good, because I've never understood a lick of it when humans talk about economy. I just figured it was a made-up word they yell at each other when they want to stop talking. I mean, kind of. I mean, let's be real here. So, please, enlighten us. I'm not going to debase myself by playing a game of trivia. Not in front of the speaker. Humph, I thought so. I love how they're not buying his bullshit. Like, humans are falling over themselves to acknowledge that the other person who has no clue what they're talking about actually understands things. It's amazing. To answer your question, we did get a whiff right around here. Another near her house. Haven't picked up anything around town since then. Let's hope those creatures haven't already gotten to her. Can you help us find her? You've got better noses for this sort of thing than we do. I'm afraid we won't be making any excursions into the forest until those creatures are long gone. We've lost enough already. We don't need any more of the local pets to go missing. What about Gretchen, Scraps? If her person's in trouble, helping out is the least we can do to honor her memory. Fair enough. We'll see what we can do. We'll keep our noses to the ground and let you know if we find anything. Mr. Mayor, you should listen to Daisy and Scraps on this one. There won't be anarchy in the streets to worry about if every animal in town is taken by ditchlings. Your opinion is noted, but I've been mayor for over 14 years. I know what I'm doing. Do you? Do you, though? That's 14 dog years, Jimmy. If you're... that's 14 dog years. Jimmy, if you're not going to help, the least you can do is not blow smoke up the speaker's ass. I like Scraps. I suppose you are right, Daisy. This is just a waste of time. But I needed to hear it with my own ears before I could really believe it. I'll save the I told you so for later. Let's go rally the others. The town won't save itself. You and the dogs exit the mayor's office and close the door behind you. They quickly turn a corner and vanish from your line of sight. You find Kanika waiting for you in the lobby. You just had a full-on conversation with those dogs. It is so weird when you do that. I mean, Kanika, we've been over this. Like, animals are people too. Kanika sighs, muttering to herself. Knowing dogs are capable of carrying on an actual conversation is going to make being a veterinarian really weird. Wait, she wants to... When did she mention she wanted to be a vet? Did I forget that? Did I miss that? I guess Oscar must be in the back. I know that's where I'd be if I finally managed to unhaunt my house. Let's go. You make your way back toward the annex. It feels strange to be back here in the light of day, as if the events of the previous evening were all just a terrible dream. Right? This hallway creeps me out. Kanika knocks on the door. Oh, good morning. It's so nice to see all of you. Please, come on in. It's Dr. Munchausen. You're doing really great, Rosalina. Not a lot of kids your age can take shots that well. You're being so brave. You don't have to talk to me like I'm 5. But you are brave. You really are, Rosalina. You're like so badass. Yeah, remember? In the mine. We went over this in the recap. Kitten. We went over. Alexis is right. This is more than most people have to deal with in their whole lives. And here you are taking it like a champ. Dr. Kelly's kind demeanor vanishes as she turns and glares at you. Hello, Dr. Munchausen! Oh, I see we have visitors. So, Dr. Kelly, are you gonna start poisoning her now too? Should I? I feel like I should. We have to wait for that though. How are you doing, Rosalina? Tired. My leg hurts a lot, but the medicine is helping. It's not so bad now. Plus, I got to lie down in an actual bed last night, and you have no idea how good that felt. Thanks, Dodger. I can't believe you got any sleep at all after last night. After all that ghost stuff, I just sat on the couch with all the lights on. I don't think I slept at all. I really needed some rest after, you know, the hospital and my foot. Your body is desperately trying to get you to rest. All that activity yesterday was pretty brutal on your injury. It's never going to stop hurting if you keep pushing yourself. So, what are you not going to do today? Anything? That's right. You're staying here. No walking around, no investigating haunted houses. Sorry, Dr. Kelly. I should have been better at stopping her. I take full responsibility as her father. I should have. No need for anyone to step in and take the blame for anything. It's the hospital's fault for sending her home at all. It's gross negligence if you ask me. But give it time, then you can do all the activities you want, all right, Rosalina? Baby, why are you trying to run away? I'm guessing Charlie didn't come back for an encore? Not as far as I know. I slept in Rosalina's room, and I made sure to put some heavy objects on top of that hatch just to give myself a little extra peace of mind. But nothing happened. That's good enough for me. I didn't see anything either. But even if something did happen, I wouldn't know. I was asleep as soon as my head hit the pillow. I'm too tired to worry about ghosts anymore, to be honest. Losing a limb will do that, especially if you decide to tromp around the next day like nothing happened. I would have been fine if it weren't for Charlie. Good thing he's gone then, and let's hope he stays gone. You know, the doctor's taking this all fairly nonchalantly. Like, Okay. That's Rosalina's mom, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but does she have a full beard going? I mean, kudos to this guy for not being judgmental at all, but I an asshole. Wait, Oscar, did you tell Dr. Kelly about... Yeah, I told her everything. He did. I'm sorry that happened. No, that's not the mom. That's Rosalina. Because who would the child be? Who would the baby be? Is that Pixel? Pixel! I actually don't know where she is. Dr. Kelly's steel gaze is impenetrable. It's impossible to tell if she genuinely believes Oscar's story or if she decided she'd be better off humoring him. How's Reese? He's fine. Had a rough night, but he'll recover. He's used to this sort of thing. He just needs a couple of days to get back on his feet. That means no more excitement, not even a movie. I'm sorry to hear that, Dr. Kelly. But I want to see Shinochi Death Blood. I was promised chilling Japanese found footage horror. Whoa. Wait a minute. Yo, I think we need to. I think we need to. I think we need to. No, exactly right now. No. Right here, right now. I think this needs to happen. Precisely because it's right here, right now. Okay, but what if I wanted to hang out with you? Dr. Kelly stares at you in confused silence for a few seconds. I'm busy. Yo, that went over way better than I thought it would. Okay, all right. We're going to ask about Stella, and then we're going to ask if she's here to poison Rosalina, too. After I flirted with not since dinner. She hasn't gotten in touch with any of you? I'm starting to freak out a little. I really care about her, and she's just gone. Again, right after I flirted with Dr. Munchausen. It's okay, Dodger. We're going to find her. That's not good. I haven't seen her since she ran off last night. I feel terrible. This is my fault, isn't it? I should have done a better job warning her. Stella was practically banging down your door trying to get evidence of ghosts. I don't think you were going to be able to stop her. There was no way you could have known how she would react when she found it. So we just flirted with her. It is now time to accuse her of... Well, actually, hold on. We found something in Oscar's house last night, a stone carving that gave me a vision of what happened there. There was one in the mines the other night too. Both of them had a sort of pull on me. Whatever they are, there's something like them in your clinic. I felt it last night. Something awful is going to happen at the clinic, just like something awful happened at Oscar's house and at the mines. Forgive me if I don't take your funny little feeling very seriously, but the clinic is safe. I understand there have been some strange events around town, but Reese and I have lived in the clinic for a long time, and we've never encountered anything. She glances at Oscar. Ghostly. There's no need to concern yourselves with our safety. But if something does happen at the clinic, aren't you worried about Reese? If it's anything like what happened last night, He'll be fine. If some kind of ghost emergency happens, I can take care of him, so none of you need to come snooping around. So, Kelly, are you going to start poisoning her now too? Dr. Kelly's glare flashes into white-hot rage. Yo, I love provoking her. Is there a problem, Dodger? No problem, Mr. Gutierrez. He's just unbelievably rude. Something seems to have a lot of opinions about my son's treatment regime. Well, yeah, I do. Because you're poisoning him. Dr. Munchausen. We're done here anyway. Goodbye, Rosalina. You make sure to stay put and keep Pixel company. Pixel! Baby kitten! She looked up at me, but that's about all I got from her. Don't worry, Doc. I keep her warm. I'm helping. Oh, good little Pixel. Danielle, Pixel's so sweet. I will. Bye, Dr. Kelly. I'll call you later today to see how she's doing. Dr. Kelly turns to you, her expression hardening once again into her familiar glower. She storms out without another word. Yo, Rosalina's drugged as fuck. She's not going to poison Rosalina, right? Don't worry, girls. Dr. Kelly is trustworthy. She's been everybody's doctor for years. What was that about? Dinner didn't go well last night. Oh, I heard another door. We'll let you kids have some space. Alexis, why don't you figure out a restful activity for you and Rosalina? Will do, Mr. Gutierrez. I brought some video games and puzzles for my house and some movies too. Whatever you want to do, Rosalina. Rosalina's high as fuck. What's up? Is everything okay? Yeah, everything's fine. At least much better than yesterday. I can't thank you all enough. I'd like to be as helpful as I can from here on out. Now that our little situation is dealt with, I finally have time to dig into the town's archives. Our house was haunted because someone was murdered there. The mine collapse the other night was at the site of a mass grave. With enough research, maybe we'll be able to get a step ahead of the next crisis. Maybe we can actually preempt it. Yo, you don't even need to be stoned. The Magic School Bus is a fucking trip all by itself. It's on Netflix now, right? I might have to rewatch some of it. Like, that used to be one of my favorite shows. Oh, Gordo finally left. That's a shame. Bye, Gordo. Our house was haunted because someone was murdered there. Blah, blah, blah. But maybe we can preempt it. That is assuming there's going to be... Of course you didn't, because you didn't have a normal childhood. Sorry, but I need this fluff. I know. I'm sorry. But something tells me we aren't in the clear yet. We should compare notes. Not that I have any to start with. But if you know anything that might narrow down my research, it could save me some time. I don't think we actually know that much more than you do, but I've got some hunches. I can't help but feel there must have been some inciting event, since everything started getting weird seemingly overnight. What that incitement event was, or where to start looking for it, I have no idea, but it's something to keep in mind. If there's a root cause for all of this, hopefully there's a way to put the genie back in its bottle. I'm going to do my best to find out if there have ever been any similar events and whether there's anything special about Scarlet Hollow that might explain what's going on. Those carvings I warned Dr. Kelly about are important. To think there was something like that under my house all this time, and to think someone must have put it there. But who? And there was one in the mines, and if you're right, there's one in the clinic. Maybe that's what I should be focusing on right now. How many of those things are there? If we're lucky, maybe just those 3, but I'd rather not count on it. There's totally 5. I'm just throwing this out there. There are 5 total. If the ghost is really gone, we should have a look at the carving, right? Not that I want to go back into that creepy basement, but that thing has to be the most solid lead we have at this point. Right? And not a chance. I know the ghost is probably gone for good, but that thing is evil. And if there's even the slightest chance that going back down there triggers something, it's not worth disturbing. At least not until we know more. But what if this is our only chance to... My daughter's safety comes first right now. We finally have our house back, and I'm not taking any risks until we know what we're dealing with. I think Dr. Kelly is hiding something. Dinner last night was weird. I don't think we need to go around accusing anyone of being deceitful. No, Dodger is definitely right. I know that's probably not great to hear since Rosalina really needs her right now, but something is up with Dr. Kelly. I'm worried about Reese. I request we drop this line of thinking. We don't need to turn on each other based on pure speculation. Besides, she took me at my word about everything that happened last night. That has to count for something, right? Yeah, it is even weirder. Healthy skepticism is something we should expect. Make sure Pixel stays inside or he might be grabbed by the ditchlings. The ditchlings are those things from the woods, right? With those faces. They snatch animals to do some kind of parasitic egg-laying thing. So unless you want one of those things to pop out at Pixel, you better keep him where he's safe. I mean, very true. Very true. Will do. I can't imagine how devastated Rosalina would be if something were to happen to him, especially after everything she's been through. I see. Pixel, your doppelganger is a boy cat. Baby. I bet. I wonder if this could be the work of some sort of cult. You mentioned something like this at the library the other day. There was a cult in Scarlet Hollow. I feel like I'd know something about it. I think that's a baseless accusation. I think that would be completely and utterly. And for all I know, you're all in on it too. Know any local cults that could be responsible? Let's not get all satanic panic just yet. I know it's not looking unlikely at this point, but having lived in this town all my life, I feel like I would know if there was some cult that ran the place. It just seems like that kind of thing wouldn't be easy to keep secret in a place as small as Scarlet Hollow. Hi, baby. I don't even know of any in the public record. Even in the 70s, when cults were a dime a dozen and hippies were flocking to the hills. I think Sybil knows more than she's letting on. She wants me to come talk to her today. I know we've been over this, but I still think you're barking up the wrong tree. Why would my mom hide anything from us? She always had a strange air about her, hasn't she? Oh, she has always had. Okay. I'd be interested to know what exactly she intends to discuss with you, Dodger. I have a feeling she has more than tea to offer. Whatever we're doing next, I feel like we're missing a vital team member. We need to find Stella and fast. I agree. We need her brazen energy if we're going to do any serious sleuthing. Let us know what you find. I will. So that's Oscar. Any other ideas? Let's check out the diner. Good idea. Folks tend to congregate there. Maybe we'll run into someone who's seen Stella. Avery! Feels like you've walked into a private meeting. The back booth is full of miners, and they're having what seems to be an intense discussion, their expressions gravely serious. Hey, it's Dodger and Kanika. Long time no see. It's been less than a day, Avery. Chill, you're being a little bit clingy. Hope the town has been treating you well. Are we interrupting something? Of course not. Everyone's welcome here. Just be careful not to step on any toes. Things have gotten a little tense over the past couple of days. The miners in the back were too engaged in conversation to notice you enter, and instead of speaking in hushed voices, they argue with each other loudly enough for you to overhear. There's no way I can risk something like this. Y'all know my sister's tuition depends on this paycheck, and I can't afford a place outside of the company housing. Outside of the company housing. My apologies. They appear to have added an extra word there. This is too risky. We should just cut it out now before she starts firing people. I hate to say it, Zax, but Harrison might have a point. Everybody shut it. Smith just let me know the boss's cousin over there was snooping up around the mines this morning. Let's not give the boss any more ammunition. Yo, Smith snitched on me. What a fucking asshole. Smith didn't seem to be too worried, but still, we don't have a lot of room for error here. The conversation cuts out, an uncomfortable silence falling over the diner as the miners watch you with suspicion. Have any of you seen Stella? She's missing. The YouTuber? We ain't seen her. Harrison's voice drops to a barely audible mumble. I hope she's okay. She hasn't been around, but I'll let you know if I hear anything. Weigh in on the Baker and Harrison situation. Everyone should join the strike. Unite with your fellow workers. Screw my cousin. Fuck Tabitha. Hey, this is a private conversation, Zax. But you're right. Even if you are the boss's cousin and I don't trust you as far as I can throw you, This strike is only going to work if all of us stand together. What do you say, you two? I'll have to call my family and see what they say. My sister's tuition is riding on this job. Baker? I'll have to think on it. So about the strike. Look, kid, I don't care how well-intentioned Smith thinks you are. And while I appreciate you pushing folks in the right direction, I'll be damned if we talk business in front of you. Look, I support you guys, but maybe you can save this until next week. Tabitha's mom just died. This whole strike thing hardly seems fair. She's having a hard time. Oh, she is having a hard time. Is that why she's forcing her workers to go back into the mines not 2 days after her collapse? You can't blame people for wanting to do something about it. Fair. I mean, fair. Hey, Avery, do you have a minute to catch up? Are you angling at something? Come on now, Zax. This is a free establishment. Let's step outside. I could use some fresh air. Look, my guy. Like, Avery pauses for a second. I've been seeing these little blob guys everywhere. Y'all know about them, right? Should I be concerned? Yeah, they're called ditchlings. My mom says they're an omen for a coming disaster, which I don't exactly buy, but they've been killing local animals. Did you say you don't exactly buy it? Is the town Scully saying she believes in something supernatural? Oh, Scully, like Scully and Mulder. Got it. Look, we've seen some things the past couple of days. Okay, now I'm really worried. I don't think humans have much to worry about. They've just been using wild animals so far. I'm honestly kind of worried that they're eventually going to run out of hosts. Maybe they don't prefer people, but what are they going to do when there aren't any animals left in Scarlet Hollow? Oh, is that all they want? All they do? That's fine. They can nest in me if they want. It's cool. I thought they'd be eating people or something. Are you serious? Being used as a walking nursery sounds so much worse than just being eaten. Look, if they need a warm place to pupate and I have skin to spare, who am I to deny them? Yo, Avery, what the fuck, man? Avery. Oh, that's so gross. Just the thought of feeling something like wriggling under your skin, stealing your nutrients until it eventually erupts out of you. Kanika shudders. Well, Kanika's never gonna be a mom. You've just described pregnancy. Sounds like the miracle of life to me. Yeah, for real though, Avery. You're yanking us around, right? Maybe. Anyways, I shouldn't get too off topic. You wanted to chat? Do you have any idea where Stella might have went? Nope, not at all. But I'll tell you if I know. I'll let you know if I hear something. Last night was an ordeal for all of us. I think she was especially shaken up. She just ran off without saying anything. We're pretty worried. We should probably get back to it. Totally. I'm sure you're both antsy to get back to looking for Stella. I won't keep you. Avery heads back inside and you and Kanika return to Main Street to plan your next move. Fuck it, we should go to the cops. It's not a terrible idea. I'm sure they won't be much help, but we are dealing with a missing person, and that's cop stuff. Hopefully they won't give you a hard time. They've really been on your ass. The police station is exactly what you would expect from a town the size of Scarlet Hollow. It smells strongly of coffee and faintly of aged furniture and paper. And the general tidiness speaks of a department that doesn't get much of anything done. But you're also not alone here. You find Bo and Duke standing between you and the officers behind the desk. Now listen here, Hugby. Big Betty was set to win a blue ribbon, so don't you go telling me she was just a pumpkin. We worked real hard to get her that big. Raised her up from a seed. It's just not fair, officer. I understand that and all, but I just don't see what y'all want us to do about it. I know y'all cared a lot about this pumpkin, but as it stands, this simply isn't a job the police can help you with. Oh, this guy. Different guy. Now, if you were able to find some evidence that Julius or somebody else stole this Big Betty of yours, then you could get a lawyer involved and take it to small claims court. Dang it, deputy, I ain't finding evidence what y'all supposed to be good for. That Julius been stealing what rightfully belongs to the Callaways for all his life, and you folks ain't done a lick of policing to put an end to it. I told you we was better handling this ourselves, Daddy. The cops realize you've entered, their attention quickly shifting to you. Well, if it isn't our little prank caller. You know you're not supposed to do that, right? There's laws in the books about pranking emergency services. We'll let you off with a warning. For now. But only because it was funny. Stella ran off last night and she's still missing. She isn't at home and none of us have heard from her. She what now? Oh, that's just our Stella. Always running off. I wouldn't worry too much about it. She'll turn up. This is different, Earl. You know I wouldn't be here bothering if it wasn't important. I lost my cursor. Okay, there we go. Why did we even come here? This is useless. We had to do our due diligence, and now we have. We know to keep an eye out for her. Weird question, but are you folks part of a cult, and is that why you aren't doing your jobs? The officers stare at you, perplexed. A cult? I don't think we have that sort of thing up here. We are doing our jobs. Just look at Franklin back there. He's filing all kinds of paperwork pertaining to what happened up at the mines. You know, I can't say I appreciate your tone. It sounds like you're accusing us of some kind of indecency. What? Do you think we go up into the hills and do seances and rituals and all that sort of thing? Get your head out of the clouds. Let's just get going. Well, no one can say we didn't try. Let's keep looking. I don't give a shit about that pumpkin. Well, that was a total waste of time. I hope Duke and Bo find their pumpkin. Where to next? Before you can say anything, you're interrupted by Kanika's phone buzzing. Oh my god, my mom's calling me. When is she gonna learn to text? Give me a second. Hey, what's up? No, still no sign of her. We're going to keep looking for a while longer. I'm really feeling okay. I'm not... You're right. Now that you mention it, I do feel kind of tired. I shouldn't push myself. I'll come home. That was a shift. That was a big shift in her attitude. She has a point. I'm not feeling well right now. I got to get back to the general store. Maybe some tea could help. This really crept up on me. I was doing fine until Kanika starts to sway, losing balance in her legs. Yo, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I must have been running on adrenaline. She stumbles, bumping into you before regaining her balance. Sorry. I think I just need some help getting home. I'll have some tea and maybe lie down. Oh, yeah, my apartment? Hold on. Echo, lights on. Better? Baby. A little bit, yeah. I mean, it's only 5 right now. Stay here, baby. It's okay. It's okay. Why are you wagging your tail at me? Okay, so Bit, I swear to God, she's half dog. I swear Bit is half dog. She wags her tail. Like, usually the tail wags are a sign of agitation, but she does it when she's happy. I don't really understand. Echo, stop. Okay. Kanika leans on your shoulder for support and you help her back to the general store. Thanks and sorry. This is embarrassing. I don't understand. Like, her mom is doing something. Her mom has some weird, crazy, magical, mystical powers. She's totally a witch. The bells of the general store chime welcomingly as you bring Kanika inside. Oh dear, Kanika, you poor thing. This is why you were supposed to stay in bed today. If you keep running around like this, it's going to take you much longer to recover. What have you done to her? Sybil? Thank you so much for getting her home, and I hope you're feeling better after last night's fiasco. Hi, Mom. Go on, get up to bed. I'll be up in a minute with more tea. And Dodger, once she's all situated, I believe I owe you a chat. Hopefully, we'll be able to start making sense of your visions. Wait, if you're talking mystery related stuff, I should be there. Sweetie, you've done enough today, and you never like when I do tea readings anyway. I'm sure Dodger can catch you up once you're feeling better. Okay, you're right. I'm not feeling well. I should really lie down. Kanika heads toward the stairs and disappears without saying another word. Shall we? Sybil motions toward the tea room. So there's two options to avoid. Axolotls. Axolotls, snakes, fro. Baby kitten. Tiny baby fluff. All right. We'll go in the tea room. Mainly because it's the option that I'm probably not supposed to pick. Please, have a seat. I'll bring you a fresh cup. You take a seat at the small table at the edge of the room. It's dark here, only a sliver of sunlight able to filter through the heavy curtains, supplemented by the bright grow lights over the plant in the corner. By the way, it is actually like dark out. Just so you know, it's not just my apartment. I think yeah. Yeah, it gets dark around like 4:40-ish, 4:45 maybe. It's castor bean, an incredibly toxic plant and strange for a tea maker to keep around her workspace. Sybil joins you at the table and places a cup in front of you. It smells light and citrusy with an undercurrent of decaying earth. This is a special blend. It should help clarify some of the visions you've been getting. Yeah, Sybil's about to poison me, isn't she? I'll be able to do a reading once you're done. Until then, how about we just chat? Some of the plants in here are toxic. Castor bean and the oleander in the corner behind me. They can produce ricin and rat poison, respectively. It just seems like strange plants for a person who makes presumably edible teas to have them lying around in the open. Aren't you sharp? I'm an appreciator of plants, regardless of whether they can be used in tea. Oleander's blooms are beautiful, and castor bean has such massive leaves. You have to admit, it makes for an impressive plant. And they're both perfectly harmless so long as no one munches on them. I keep these separate from the garden out back just that reason, so no one confuses them for something edible. Yeah, I'm kind of worried about sipping my tea. So how did you wind up in Scarlet Hollow? Oh, my family's been in these hills for a long time. That's how I know so much of the local flora. Everything I've learned was handed down from generations of hillfolk. There hasn't always been a reliable doctor up here, especially not one most folks could afford. They have to figure out their own medicine. American healthcare in a nutshell right there. The other day you promised to tell me, what was it? Unsavory tales of my mom's youth? I most certainly did, though I might have been exaggerating a bit for dramatic effect. I'm prone to do that. In a town this size, you get to know everybody, no matter what the age difference might be. Vivian was a little younger than me, which meant I always had a certain older sister instinct about her. Her family wasn't good to her. Pearl Ann was a lot like your great-grandmother, Edwardine, which is to say she was not a very kind woman. Similar to Tabitha, but with more social grace and considerably more hatred for her fellow man. But your mother wasn't a shrinking violet either. She was just as stubborn as any other Scarlet, so her family choosing her as their punching bag made her into quite the rebel. Why were Pearl Ann and my mom raised by Edwardine? What happened to their mother? Their entry into this world was violent, I'm afraid. Their mother was young, too young to be pregnant, especially with twins. She didn't survive the labor. I see. I feel like I know a lot about the women in my family, but what about the men? Did they even exist? I suppose they just haven't been very noteworthy since Edwardine took over the mines. Her husband died a long time ago, and to be quite honest, I can't even recall his name. Might have been Stuart or something just as forgettable. From what Vivian said, her father was some teenage fling that ended once her grandmother found out she was pregnant. I'm fairly certain it was similar for Vivian, though she was much older, and I believe she was the one who ended it. What with skipping town and all. What happened when my mom found out she was pregnant? She came to me for advice. She was distraught. It was like she'd been handed a death sentence. Maybe it was fear from what had happened with her own to her own mother. Maybe it was something else. But she seemed convinced she was in danger. Tabitha had already been born by then, of course, but she was born in wedlock, so I assume your mother's worries had something to do with religion. Though the Scarlets weren't particularly religious as far as I knew. But the way Vivian was that night she came to me, it stuck in my mind. It's always had me wondering what it was about your family that made her panic so much at the thought of having a baby. What do you know about my grandma? I'm afraid there isn't much I can tell you. I think there were two in that generation. The eldest died when the girls were still children. Edwardine never spoke about them, nor did your mother. I'm not sipping the tea. What's with all of the mystery and ritual? If you have something to tell me, just come and say it. I'll need your tea leaves first. I have pieces of the puzzle, but the tea leaves should have helped to give me the full picture. Oh, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Do we actually drink the tea? I mean, she says it's the only way, right? We'll start with sipping. You take the tea, sipping it delicately. The citrus smell is fleeting, quickly replaced. What was that? Drink the tea. It's good for you. Okay. But the aftertaste combines the two flavors into something soothing and medicinal, and you find yourself feeling more comfortable, your muscles relaxing for the first time in days. Fuck, now we can only finish it. Okay. You close your eyes and take another sip, then another. It's delightful. The tea is gone before you know it. The small cup empties, save for what's left of rehydrated leaves coating the bottom. Oh, good. I'm glad you found the tea palatable enough to drink. It should do you some good. It's one of my more medicinal blends. It's got oleander in it. Now, on to business. Sybil takes the cup from you, staring thoughtfully down at the sludge. Oh dear, this doesn't bode well. You've got just about every warning that can fit in the bottom of a cup. Cross, kettle, hourglass. All of these mean death, misery, difficulty, and the hourglass ties it all together with a definite urgency. It's fair to assume that this all has to do with whatever brought the ditchlings. Something is coming, and whether any of us can stop it, I'm not sure, but we may, at the very least, be able to figure out what it is. And there's a central figure here, a cat, an enemy lurking in plain sight. Fro! It's Fro. How do I know you're not the cat? I suppose you don't. Though I'd think the cat wouldn't exactly warn you about itself. Still, you can't rule anyone out, even the old woman with the tea obsession. You don't have to figure out an answer right away. It often takes time for the mind to connect the dots. Just be on guard and keep vigilant that someone close to you isn't to be trusted. We know from the ditchlings that something terrible is coming your way, and it's likely connected to some hidden enemy. Perhaps we can try to counteract whatever might be planned for you. Judging by what you told me last night, those stones, carvings, seals, whatever you want to call them, I think it's likely they have something to do with this. Until the cat reveals itself, it seems like your best course of action is to seek these carvings out. Piece together what you can from your visions and arm yourself with information. Have you sensed any others around town? Do you think you might be able to find another? Your thoughts drift back to that door yesterday. The one that seemed to draw you in, urging you deeper into the clinic. Even just remembering it is enough to tug at you, compelling you to return and open it to see what's on the other side. You can find Stella later. Maybe you can even find her there. What's important now is finally seeing what's hidden in the clinic. But bad stuff always happens around them. What happens around these stones might not be anywhere close to what could happen if we let the danger encroaching on both you and this town act unopposed. The ditchlings are multiplying every day. This is all going to come to a head, and it may just be a question of how prepared you are when it comes. Learning whatever you can could save your life, even if you're faced with more ghosts or ghouls along the way. I think that's all the help I can offer. I hope this conversation has been illuminating, even if it just brought up more questions than giving any clear answers. Really, though? All you did was look at some tea leaves and tell me to go put myself in danger. I suppose you could see it that way, but I hope I've done more than that, even if you don't realize it yet. Thank you again for humoring an old lady and stopping by for a chat. With a small grunt of effort, Sybil gets up from the table and you're escorted back to the door. And remember, be careful who you put your trust in. According to your tea, the cat is getting ready to pounce, and merely being ready for it might not be enough. Kitten, are you gonna pounce? Are you gonna betray me, kitten? No. Are you gonna betray me, Fluff? Meow. It says for kittens. Yes. The bells of its door are strangely flat in the stale air of the nearly empty general store. Check in on Kanika. You're not going anywhere before checking in on Kanika. You make your way upstairs. Knock, I guess. You knock on Kanika's door. Mom, I really don't need any more tea. I think I'm just going to lie down for a while. I wish there was an okay, sweetie option. Can I come in? Oh, hey, yeah, let me just straighten up. You hear frantic crumpling and clinking and shuffling as she tidies her room. Okay, come on in. She's a weeb! Danielle, she's a weeb! She's got waifus. She's got a lot of waifus. Oh my god. Look at her blushing too. Kanika's room is the sort of place that's stuck between the past and present. Faded stickers from her childhood line her bookshelf. And boxes of packed belongings sit in the corners of the room. I don't usually have people over. Don't judge me too harshly for the state of the place. Tip dialogues. Options marked romance will start a romantic arc with the character you're talking to and will lock you out of romantic arcs with other characters. Whoa, wait a minute. This is a new one. Excuse me? Kitten, you hear this? You're too sweet and innocent for this. You need to cover your ears. Packing for something? We need to not start the relationship arc with her. We are all about that Stella. Motion to the stack of cardboard boxes. That's all my stuff from college. I never really unpacked. It seemed like a waste to unload everything. It's not like I'll be staying here long term, so I just have to pack them up again eventually. I guess I did move it back in over a year ago, so those boxes have just been sitting here unopened for a long time. Meow. Sweet innocent baby Fluff. Avert your gaze. But any day now, I'll load them back into the van and get out of town. Any day now. We have to find Stella. I'm not going anywhere without you. But where would we go? I can still feel that door in the clinic pulling at me. I think that's where we need to go next. I was hoping to see Reese sometime today. I want to ask if he knows anything about Stella and, you know, make sure he's okay after what happened at dinner. Let's do it. Oh. The two of you make your way back out into the hallway. But before you make it to the stairs, a light turns on, startling both of you. I thought you were going to get some rest, Kanika. You should really get back to bed. Or this cold of yours will only get worse. But I still have a lot of energy. I don't feel like sitting around. I don't think I need to. Of course you do. I know you best, and you just haven't been yourself these past few days. All this running around has been a detriment to your health. Sybil? Miles and I want to see you healthy. You hold this family together. You shouldn't get between a mother and her daughter. Sybil knows what's best here, and Kanika is more than capable of speaking for herself. Look smart. That accelerated heartbeat, she's running on adrenaline right now. It's going to wear out sooner rather than later, and she won't be able to help you if something happens tonight. You're putting her in danger. Yo, if we force this issue, do we kill Kanika? I'm sorry, Mom. I know I've been neglecting the general store, and I let Miles run off the other day. That was so irresponsible of me. That's all right, Kanika. He could have gotten hurt, but he didn't, and it seems like you learned a valuable lesson from the experience. Now, let's get you to bed. You just need another day to recover, and then you can get back to all this town mystery business. Dodger, you'll be fine without her until tomorrow. Kanika, you're a grown-ass woman! See you later, okay? Before you can utter another word, Kanika returns to her room. Sybil's eyes carefully watch you as you leave and make your way back to Main Street alone. Yo, Sybil's totally the cat. You make your way You make your way up the familiar hill, past the rows of ragged houses, and make up Scarlet Hollow's residential area. She's the cat. Hey, look who it is. Also, ditchlings everywhere. And a raccoon. No, over here, Wayne. Over here. Yes, Trash Panda. Even at the bottom of the hill, you can already feel the presence. It's like a magnet has been fixed to your ribcage, gently tugging you forward, guiding you towards whatever emits this compulsive frequency. Ask a woodland creature how they'd get into the house. You quickly glance around, eyes trained on the underbrush. A flash of a striped tail grabs your eye immediately. Right there, yeah. Can I help you, Buster? Hey there, if you were trying to break into that house at the top of the hill, how would you do it? What, just because I've got little hands and go through people's trash? I'm supposed to know how to break into places? Yeah. There's a hill that'll take you right up to that big flat roof thing. Sometimes the humans leave windows open up there and I go inside. Don't tell them, okay? I like to sleep in their big piles of cloth. It's one of my few joys in life. Little baby Trash Panda. He's so cute. You have your way in. Make your way up the hill and onto the terrace. You're pretty sure you can make the jump on to the second floor, at least with a running start. You make your way up the hill and bend your knees in anticipation, and then you jump. You land and try the door. It's unlocked. The upstairs of the clinic feels like a decommissioned museum. Old furniture is covered in plain white sheets and a thick layer of dust coats the floor. The place hasn't seen any use in years. You're in the clinic, free to explore as you please, or rather, you're free to explore as you please. You feel that odd sensation again, the nagging pull of whatever it was that wanted you to find it. You've been caught by its gravity, an overwhelming curiosity guiding you around a corner and towards a dark doorway under the stairs. It's been left ajar, as if inviting you to enter. Turn on the lights. Ayo! Hey, Dr. Munchausen. How you doing there, lady? See, you're sleeping on the autopsy table. That's, it's a thing. Oh, it's Reese. It's Reese. Not Dr. Munchausen. Dodger, what are you doing in the morgue? Vampire! Oh God, you died, and she Frankensteined you back to life. Okay, I have to ask, are you human? I'm just gonna pretend I never saw this. Are you? Vampire! I'm not. Please don't stake me. I just sometimes find it easier to sleep down here. Don't ask me why, that's just how it is. You were sleeping on an autopsy table, my guy. The tugging is strong down here. You can feel yourself almost slipping into a trance and your eyes wander to the back wall of the morgue. You need to see what's back there. Follow the pull. You touch the wall. It feels disappointingly solid under your palms. Hey, are you okay? You feel Reese's hand gently shake your shoulder, and for a moment, thing on the other side of the blank white wall loosens its pull on you. You kind of looked possessed for a second there. You good? Make him understand. Why wall need see thing but wall stand in way? I need to get behind the wall. Reese glances back at the wall. You're really serious, aren't you? This is probably a bad idea, but you really need to get in there. I'm pretty sure there's an emergency ask somewhere upstairs. I just need to get the dock out of our hair. Should take 2 seconds. Yes, please, axe now. You are super desperate about this wall. Be right back. He strides past you, his long legs moving swiftly. He seems excited, his usual dour demeanor replaced with uncharacteristic pep when faced with the prospect of sneaking around and tearing down walls. You hear his soft voice filtering through the open doorway at the top of the stairs, a hoarse and sickly edge added for effect as he speaks to his mother. Hey, Mom, he coughs gently. Reese, I didn't know you were awake. I still feel like shit, but I think I can finally try to keep some juice down. It looks like we're all out though. Really? Thought I had just picked some up. I've got an errand to run on Main Street anyway. I'll go pick up some orange juice and some ginger ale too. That would be awesome. Sorry to ask. I know you're probably busy. It's no problem. It doesn't take long. Don't do anything too strenuous while I'm gone. Just lie in bed until I get back. Yo, Reese is gonna die. Thanks, Mom. I'll take it easy. You hear her footsteps move down the hall, then the front door opening and closing. It worked! The theatric rasp has left his voice, excitement rising in its place. Come on up. We don't have long until she's back. As you step out of the morgue, you relax. The extra space between you and the carving has weakened its hold on you, and with it, your desperation to claw your way through the wall and unveil it. It's one of those emergency fire axes, so it should be pretty obvious wherever it is. Though I'm not sure where she would be keeping it. I'll show you around. Let's try the doc's office first. You make your way to the doorway of her now vacant office. I don't see an axe in here. He's right. A cursory glance reveals nothing but stacks of paper and cabinets of medical supplies. But something on the desk catches your eye. Some sort of records with your family's name on them. Booksmart, you're a fast reader. Stops in the doorway, turn to watch as you leaf through some documents. Find something interesting. They're your family's death certificates. Others. I don't really care about the rest. Theodore Scarlet, body not recovered, signed by his brother. That's right. You had a great uncle who died in the collapse. Joseph Scarlet, both killed at Normandy in the line of duty. These must be Edwardine's brothers. Certificate of fetal death, infant boy, Andrew Charles Scarlet. Delivered, blah, 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 blah. Stillbirth, mother Edwardine Scarlet. Cause of death, complications during birth. No doctor present, home burial. Booksmart. That settles the question on whether you're related to Charlie. Alexandra Scarlet, age 9, missing, presumed dead. Mary Bell Scarlet, age 16, death. Complications during childbirth. Wow, that's a lot of kids to outlive. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Okay, Pearl Ann. Sleep apnea, discovered by her daughter. Tabitha Chrysanthemum Scarlet. Well, you've got a middle name for Tabby now. No autopsy performed. Tabitha's middle name is Chrysanthemum. Wonder who cursed her with that mouthful. I feel like that was forbidden knowledge. I don't really care about the rest of them. Medical supply room is probably a good bet. A fire axe seems like something that might be useful in a room full of chemicals. There it is. Looks like it needs a key, though. We'd better not break the glass. I'd rather explain why I had to steal the fire axe after we've had a chance to use it. Death certificates. He stops as if listening to something you can't hear. Shit, she's back already. As if on cue, you hear the front door of the clinic open and close, the creak of its antique hinges going down the hallway. She's headed this way. Quick, we gotta hide. I'm not supposed to be in here. Of course you're not. He opens the... You know what? Actually, hold on. Before we... No, hold on. Yes. Move on and leave the files be. Okay, so it doesn't matter. I just wanted to see if it actually made a difference, but it doesn't. Yeah. He opens the closet door and hurriedly motions you inside. You slip past him, scrunching into the small space as best you can. He attempts to slide in after you. Let him in. You make space and he slips in next to you, closing the door just enough that you can both still monitor the entrance. Dr. Kelly storms in, plastic bag in tow. Plastic bag. She takes something out of the bag and places it on the counter. And then she hurries back out, bag rustling as she makes her way down the hallway. We'd better wait a second just in case. Quietly wait for the danger to pass. The two of you stand in tense silence, both crammed into the suffocating closet, taking shallow breaths as if she could hear you breathing from the other side of the building. But the footsteps soon return. Dr. Kelly makes her way back towards your hiding place, creaking boards broadcasting her location all the way to the hallway just outside your hiding spot. His head swivels suddenly. That was the door to the house. We're in the clear. Let's go. The two of you spill out of the closet. Hey, what have we got here? Reese quickly and quietly starts pulling out drawers, scanning them for keys. Book smart. You can't help but notice that what Dr. Kelly left on the long steel table. Hey! Who called it? Who called it, Danielle? Dr. Munchausen it is. Castor beans. They're toxic. They're poisonous. She's mixing them in with her kids' food. Yeah. Yeah, they're very poisonous, in fact. You've seen them elsewhere in town, but for the life of you, you can't remember where. What do you mean I can't remember where? We literally just had this discussion. Why did your mom get castor beans? Yes, found the keys. He holds up a small ring of keys with a strip of colored tape on the head. What's this about beans? Oh, those weird little fruit things? Reese unlocks the cabinet and offers you the fire axe. Here's your axe. And I don't know, I've never seen them before. I'm not allowed into the supply room. Probably some kind of medicinal plant, right? She took out a chemistry set too, though come to think of it, She's not supposed to make medicine. She's not a pharmacist. This room is just storage for orders she gets from a pharmacist over in Brevard. Why would she bring something like that in here? Castor beans make ricin, a deadly poison. Reese, she's not making it though, right? Why would she make that? She's a doctor. I don't think she's making it for everyone, just for you. You know, she's never told me what my medication really is. I thought it was just too complicated for me to understand, so she didn't bother. She has some kind of information on it lying around here somewhere. The drawers over there is locked. If I were information on some mysterious alien-looking fruit, I'd probably be in a locked drawer, right? Good thing I already have the keys. He unlocks the drawer, pulling out a notebook. This is about me. There's stuff in here from when I was like 12. It's some kind of diary or medical history or both, I guess. What the hell is this? Something about another episode, guessing she's referring to one of my rough nights. Oh, here we go. There's some illustrations. He glances to the strange plant on the countertop. It's those beans you mentioned. She uses them to make my medicine. That's poison, right? He jerks his head toward the door. Shit, that was the door from the house. We've got to run. You follow Reese's instruction. I told you, Danielle. I called it from I called it from minute 1. Oh, I'm not doing shit. This woman is poisoning her son with castor beans. I am not causing shit. You follow Reese's instruction, once again starting down the basement steps, letting the pull of the stone curving guide you back to the morgue. Dr. Kelly's voice filters down from above. I was right. We did already have juice. It was just in the back of the fridge, but there's no harm in having extra. What are you doing in the clinic? I thought I told you to go rest. Oh, I'm just going to chill in the morgue. I've got my speakers, so if you heard some weird sounds, it's just my music. I'll be sure to put in earplugs to drown out all that industrial clanging you listen to. Convenient. You know I'm not the biggest fan of you spending time down there. It can't be good for your mental health to hang out in a refrigerator for corpses. Do you at least have a blanket this time? Yeah, I'll be fine. It's just a change of scenery. My room feels too claustrophobic right now. Okay, I'll let you know when it's time for dinner. You don't have to do something. I'll grab something from my room later. Guessing from my room. Sure, whatever you're able to do. You hear the door at the top of the stairs close and the sound of Reese descending down the stairs to join you in the fluorescent lit room below. Hey. Ball now? Yes? I should warn you. Something spooky might happen when we break down that wall. Ah! Reese smiles. Good. Feel like I've been missing out lately. Stop asking questions. It's time to see what's on the other side of that wall. Wall now. Yes? I'd like to do the honors if you don't mind. I've got some confused and angry feelings I'd like to express. Reese manages to cut through the wall with very little effort, unexpected from someone with his frame and condition. But you know his stringy muscles are backed by a mounting fury at what's been done to him. That goes a long way. I fucking called it, Danielle. Danielle, I fucking called it. I knew from the start. I did not give her a single second of doubt. Don't be like that. Just because I saw through her instantaneously doesn't mean that you need to be all grouchy about it. He staggers back from the massive hole in the wall and admires his work. Holy shit. The splintered edge frames a dark passage seemingly cut deep into the side of a cliff. Shall I refer to it as being angsty then? Cold seeping from the forgotten passageway into the already frigid morgue. Reese coughs as he takes a better look at what lies beyond the wound in the wall. There's a whole hallway back there. Thick, stale air leaks from the hole, filling the morgue with an earthy mildew smell, like the room is slowly filling with dirt. And with the stink of the grave-like room beyond comes an even stronger compulsion. You step forward, and you climb into the hole. This is wild. I had no idea any of this was there. An entire hospital wing rotting away for decades behind some flimsy drywall. His voice sounds distant. Your sole focus is finding it. Your feet move without prompting, and you stumble down the hallway toward the far wall, barely registering the antique clutter as you stagger past it. Whoa, are you okay? You don't respond. You don't bother to retrieve the axe. The wall is rotten, water damage having eaten away at the wood over the course of unknowable years. The planks nearly reduced to sawdust. You tear into it. Enoch, I thought you weren't going to come. I was worried you'd leave me here forever. They said there's nothing they can do. I'll never use my legs again. Enoch, what am I going to do? Nonsense, Teddy. These doctors don't know what they're talking about. I've been doing my own research, and I've found us an alternative. It's called essential oils. They can work miracles, Teddy. We don't have to worry about anything from here on out, I promise. I went to talk to the witch. A witch? But that's nonsense. It's all right. It's all sorted. We're taking you home today, and everything will be resolved by this time next week. She will bring all of the vanilla bean extract and lavender extract that your heart could desire. It will heal you, Teddy. Teddy, do you hear me? Sorry, I had to. Everything goes black. Your vision swims back into focus, and it takes a solid second or two to reorient yourself. You're in an unfamiliar bed. Reese leans against the far wall, eyeing you with concern and curiosity. Hey, I was worried you'd slipped into a coma or something. You tore down a wall like a wild animal, found some weird carving, and collapsed. I think you might have had some kind of seizure. Are you okay? I had a vision. Like a hallucination? I had those sometimes too. Used to have them a lot as a teen. Always just little weird little feelings, like my hands would look wrong, or my neck would seem too long, or the room would feel smaller. These carvings are clearly drilled into some big gas pocket that keeps giving me seizures and hallucinations. Whatever these visions are, they're making me very suspicious of my family. That's probably a good thing, right? The Scarlets have always seemed like one of those old money families with a ton of secrets. And that estate up on the hill seems like the kind of place that's seen at least one murder. Maybe you should try to stay away from that place. How did I get here? I carried you. You don't have the kind of muscle mass required for that. Huh? Why would I lie about that? I just picked you up and carried you back. It's not like I had to go very far. There's no fucking way. I should probably get going. Stella's still missing. The stone here finally stopped yelling at me. That might be a little tricky. The doc is on a warpath up there. I refuse to take my medicine, and she's not happy about it. I'm sure you can understand why. There was no... Right? Oh my god. Danielle, control yourself. There was no way I was going to take anything she gave me. She's been poisoning me for years. I've been thinking about what you said at dinner last night. I don't see any other possibility. It's only been a day since I've stopped taking my pills and I feel great. I went ahead and blocked my doors so she can't get down here. Now we just have to wait her out. I don't get why your mom would poison you though. I don't know. But it's all in here. She never outright says that's what she's doing. And the recipe she came up to deal with my flare-ups, whatever she thinks those are, involved that weird plant that was on the counter. Those castor beans, you were right. And ricin poisoning matches up with quite a few of my symptoms. Of course it does! The thing I can't figure out is whether she's been trying to kill me slowly or if she just likes keeping me sick enough to be dependent on her. It's that last one. Munchausen syndrome. Or rather, Munchausen by proxy is technically what it is, but either way, I don't think I ever had an illness. I think the illness was me growing up and becoming less easy to control. She sure found a cure for that. Ricin is really bad. How are you not dead? I don't know. Maybe it's low enough doses, or maybe I developed a tolerance. But I think the fact that I feel more and more alive by the minute is enough proof that she was keeping me sick. I don't even need solid evidence. With your evidence, you should be able to go to the cops. Maybe not the local cops, but a cop. You're right. I have her journal. That's pretty incriminating, even if she left out any descriptive words for what she was up to. Ideally, I'd never have to see or think about her ever again. But if it comes to it, this could be my guarantee that she would never be able to have power over me again. We need to get out of here. Who knows what she'll do when she finds out what you know? Where would we go? The only place I know who has a car is Kanika, and she's not answering her phone. I don't know anyone else. I don't have any other family to go to. I've never even finished high school. When I get out of this house, I don't know how I can make sure I don't wind up right back down here. You know what? You can stay with me until you get back on your feet. You'd let me stay with you? That's amazing. I would love that. I never thought I'd get out of this basement, let alone move to a place like Dannytown. Hey, Dannytown! I forgot about that. I forgot we did that. Hey, Danielle, Reese is moving into Dannytown. He smiles, his eyes distant as he imagines the possibility of such a life, undoubtedly for the first time. Thanks, Dodger. You have no idea how much this offer means to me. But I guess we've still got to pass some time before we can get out of here. A distraction seems like a good idea. As you can probably tell, I'm a little jittery. Maybe it's the lack of poison in my system for the first time in years, or the fact that my whole perception of reality has been turned on its head. Probably a combo. It would obviously take more than a day for rice and poison to be out of his system. It doesn't feel awful, to be honest. You can always draw me. Hey, Danielle. Draw me like one of your French girls. Shinochi Death Blood. I believe I do. Reese gets the movie set up and joins you on the bed. Why? Let me know if it gets to be too much for you. I'm not a great judge of how other people react to the sort of things I watch, but I definitely don't want you to feel uncomfortable. Hey, buddy, you can just like scooch back a little bit there. Maybe. Oh, what did I do? This is a slow burn of a movie, but the dread it's managing to build is palpable in the room. Or maybe that's just how it feels down here all the time. What with the grisly paintings, lack of lighting, cinder block walls, and of course, the fact that the woman currently lurking upstairs has been poisoning her son since his teens. I've seen a couple of this director's other films, and they're all interesting, though this is probably the best introduction to his work. The way it jump cuts to seemingly unrelated TV show recordings that then wind up tying back to the narrative adds a level of realism and depth to the narrative that I find really engrossing. It's found footage used to its fullest. I can't believe I'll just be able to do things from here on out. Like watch movies with another person. Or talk to people. Ever. You can hear the difference in energy now that Reese hasn't had his daily dose of poison. He's uncharacteristically chatty, clearly not used to talking to another person, let alone when he has the energy to carry on a long conversation. Oh my God, no. Ignore him and watch the movie. Or shh, I'm watching the movie. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. First, we have to get out of the basement. That's true. I shouldn't be counting my chickens. We still have to get past the woman upstairs. He tenses, his back straightening, his muscles clenching as he's reminded of the obstacle. Hopefully, we can just wait her out. If not, he trails off. But his features soften as he once again immerses himself in the film. A man on the screen yells portents of doom into the camera, trailing off into a wordless scream. The plot is really heating up. I love that there are all these distinct sort of veganettes, little pockets of horror that affect a small number of people. And only once you start to see how they fit together can you realize some fundamental horror about the universe. And then that horror sees you back. Incredible. Cosmic horror in the truest sense. Reese is becoming very animated. It's probably safe to assume he's dealing with a lot of extra adrenaline right now. What with his entire reality turning out to be like, yo, Reese is about to do something fucking freaky. I'm just saying. But he's also talking over the movie. Danielle, I can only imagine what your playthrough is going to be like when you're doing it at this point. Anyway, Reese, are you feeling okay. I'm just jittery. I've had a weird day, and I think being down here is making me anxious. I'm all hopped up on adrenaline. Maybe waiting out the dock is a bad idea. The longer we wait, the more likely it is she'll figure out we're on to her. And it would be too easy for her to lock me up again and be thorough about it this time. There's a knock on the window. Danielle. Dodger, don't get any closer to that thing. It's time to go home. That voice. I know that voice. Is that who's been following you around? Without another word, Wayne starts pounding on the window. Good luck, freak. That glass is shatterproof. Enemies upstairs, enemies outside. We're surrounded. Oh my God, Danielle. Even if I get... Oof, Danielle, oof. Even if I get out of this house, I won't be safe. You won't be safe. I don't need you to protect me. That's only because you don't know what kind of danger you're in. I know what it's like to have my life stolen by someone. It destroys you in every way, but I'm not weak anymore. No more cowering. If someone tries to hurt me, I should hurt them back. And I can do the same for you, Dodger. We're in this together. The window shatters. Hey, Danielle. As Reese tears at his clothes, paint bubbles out from the canvases, his ghoulish figures peeling themselves out of their two-dimensional worlds, invading yours, crawling up the walls. He has a tail, Danielle. He has a tail. He has a tail. Grab my hand. I'll pull you out. Leave us alone. In a surge of violence. Oh my God. Oh? Oh, indeed? In a surge of violence, the change that has been brewing inside Reese finally comes. As it manifests, the broken basement window is sealed off, and Wayne along with it. You can change him. Oh, Danielle, no. No. Oh, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? We aren't safe, but I can protect you. I can protect the both of us from the people who want to control us. I feel strong now. I think I can save us. Stay here. I'll be right back. I just have to deal with the doc. Reese storms up the stairs, leaving you with his smears. Wait for Reese in the basement. No, we're leaving. You make your way to the door that's beckoned you yesterday, and intrigue now washed away. All intrigue now washed away. You know where it leads. You know what secrets the stone that lurked in the forgotten basement of the clinic had to share with you. I mean, so she was poisoning the boy. Now the clinic holds a new horror. Somewhere beyond the narrow hallway leading from the house proper into the doctor's office, there's a monster preparing to do something unthinkable. Open the door. You grasp the handle and turn. Duck! Duck. You do as she say, ducking out of the way. The gun isn't very loud. There's only a pop as the projectile leaves the barrel, whizzing through the air to hit Reese. He pulls the tranquilizer dart out of his chest, heaving heavy breaths as the drug courses through his system. You're going to have to try harder than that, you bit. No, how did... Wayne, as if you could hope to stop me, you pathetic waste of flesh. Before Wayne takes another step down the stairs, paint flows out between the cracks in the wood. Reese is panic pulling in a mob of furious smears to hold his enemies in place. The artist darts away, but the smears continue their work in his absence. Dr. Kelly makes her escape down the hallway, and Wayne is overcome, glued in place at the top of the stairs by stiffening globs of paint. Run after Dr. Kelly. You run forward, braving the onslaught of the smears, dodging them as best you can as you try to see where Dr. Kelly went. The door in front of you is smothered in paint. Hey! Dr. Kelly's voice crackles out from some unseen speaker. You, Dodger! I'm stuck in the safe room. I can't help you from here, but you can help the both of us. What the hell is your son, ma'am? I wish I knew. He was fine until he hit puberty. Everybody said raising a teen was going to be a bitch, but they don't know the half of it. I need you to get to the medical storage room. I'll give you further instructions when you're there. All right, fine. Fuck it. Let's go. Ow! Oh, bitch. Son of a bitch. Ow. 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 Ah, that felt good. You turn back around and head to the medical storage room. I'm here. Great. Now listen to me. I need you to use the black taped key to get into the cabinet and bring me the elephant tranquilizers. It's a bottle labeled carfentanil. Their tranquilizers clearly aren't going to cut it anymore. An intercom system, huh, Doc? Good. You should hear this. Dodger, you don't have to do anything she says. I'm not going to hurt anybody else, just her. If I don't, you and I both know she's just going to shoot me full of elephant tranquilizers. Did I hear that right? And shove me back down in that basement, or maybe someplace even worse, and keep killing me every day for the rest of my miserable existence. I feel amazing right now. Better than I've ever felt in my life. I'm not dangerous. She's just scared because she knows she has to finally pay for what she's taken from me. I'm on Reese's side. Sorry, Doc. Wayne, help me. Goddamn Danielle. Danielle. Not anymore. Reese cries out in pain. Ah, what the hell did you do to my shoulder? I'll handle it. Try to get somewhere safe until then. The two stagger off down the hallway. Quick, grab the tranquilizers and head to the yeah, fuck it. Why? Why not? Tranquilizers are easy to find, marked with a small square of black tape to match the key. She's certainly an organized woman. Make your way out of the medical storage room and back into the hallway where Dr. Kelly disappeared. As you approach, Dr. Kelly heaves open the door. slowly breaking apart the mass of paint, sealing it shut. Hurry, I don't think I can keep it open for long. You slip past her into the safe room. She shuts the door quickly, though one of the little smears manages to slip past her. She stomps on it. Painted viscera splatters across the cement floor. Hold on. It sounds like Reese and your friend are still fighting. We probably have a few minutes before he gets here. While we're at it, any other secrets you're keeping? Maybe. If we both survive, I might decide to share a few more. If you don't go tattling to anybody. What's the game plan, both short and long term? Well, I pump him full of elephant tranquilizers, then I lock him in here. Then I somehow convince him to see things from my perspective. Then we all live happily ever after. Just kill him. It might come to that one day, but not now. I'm not ready for it now. Let's talk Reese. Yeah, I bet you have some questions. Go ahead. I have nothing left to hide. How did you settle on ricin? Dr. Kelly gives you a long, hard look. I don't want to talk about that woman. But screw it. I might die here tonight. Sure, I'll tell you. It was... And that's all I have to say about that. What the fuck, game? It literally just skipped all the dialogue, Danielle. Was his dad similar? Strange little smile creeps onto Dr. Kelly's face. It skipped the dialogue. I asked about the ricin. She said she didn't want to talk about that woman, but she would anyway. And then it flashed and it was like, yeah, never mind. I wish I knew. Reese just kind of happened. I wasn't seeing anyone. I just woke up pregnant one day. I know how impossible that sounds. I'm a doctor, for Christ's sake. I kept having these weird dreams, almost sleep paralysis episodes. Romantic sleep paralysis episodes. They were actually kind of sweet, but they were just dreams. Clearly not, lady.
Self-voicing enabled. Dr. Kelly, but then, all of a sudden, my
Wait,
period
that's a thing?
stopped. I got morning sickness. And roughly 9 months later.
Apparently there's voice.
Self-voicing disabled. Self-voicing enabled. Self-voicing disabled. Self-voicing
enabled. Can I change
enabled.
it from Microsoft Sam?
Preference. Main menu. Access. Font override.
Oh, this is an accessibility
Self-voicing
thing.
off.
Okay.
Font over. Self-voicing off. Self-voicing disabled.
Okay. I accidentally hit V. Reese. How did he not know what he was? I've been medicating him since he was 12. We've only had 3 incidents like this before, maybe 4, depending on what counts. This is the worst one by far. For fuck's sake. He doesn't seem to understand at first that he looks different. And I just make sure to stay on top of his dosages so he rarely ever does. But I've been preparing for this inevitability. He's an adult now. There's only so much I can do to control him. What is he? At first I thought he was some kind of werewolf. But if he is, he doesn't follow any of the full moon rules or anything. Silver doesn't do shit to him, and you've seen what he looks like. It's just weird. I almost wish I could examine him while he's fully transformed. I'd be fascinated to know what happens to him, or how his body does it. but he seems pretty hell-bent on ripping my throat out, so I guess that'll just have to remain a mystery. How do you know he's dangerous? Well, he wants to murder me, so that's clue number one. It's not like he's usually a violent kid. He's mostly just sad, but every now and then we butt heads, and that's usually when this side of him comes out. Imagine if this happens anytime he gets frustrated with anyone. Imagine he gets road rage one day, turns into a 12-foot tall monster with a million teeth, and rips somebody apart in the middle of a major metropolitan area. Yeah, he's dangerous. Danielle, I can fix him. Danielle, the developers wrote a role just for you. That doesn't mean he's dangerous. I mean, you are the biggest threat to him. Don't preach to me. Sure, right now, I'm the focus of his ire, but who's to say he's not just going to find a new target once I'm out of the picture? I know what he's capable of, so it's my job to make sure he doesn't hurt anybody. Why did you start poisoning him? Can we stop calling it poison? Yes, it's poison, but the act of me giving him poison was not me poisoning him. I was medicating his illness. It started when he was around 15. I'd been giving him increasingly high doses of Klonopin, but his body kept adapting and his symptoms would come back, especially if we ever fought. I couldn't keep ordering all those drugs. It was already suspicious, and I could risk losing my license, especially if anyone ever found out what I was using them for. Someone approached me with a solution. I took it. I've been dealing with the emotional and mental consequences of that decision ever since. The relationship between you seems difficult. Yeah, you could say that. He's such a cute kid. When I found out I was pregnant, I was terrified. I didn't know if I'd be ready, but he made me love being a mom. It's not like it was going to be sunshine and roses forever, no matter what. Kids grow up and they change, sometimes for the worst. This is part of being a mom too. Doing what you can to make sure the child you brought into the world isn't going to go around eating people. A little after he hit puberty, he had all the usual changes, then a few extra: thickened nails, sharp teeth, elfish ears. Figured he might have some kind of genetic disorder. I had him checked out by a few specialists. There was nothing obviously wrong with him. Then we had an argument and he changed right in front of me. It was nothing like what he is now, just a couple inches and some facial abnormalities, enough to be noticeable. I was scared. He could see that and he stopped. I thought it was a one-off, maybe a hallucination. But the second time, it wasn't as subtle and it didn't go away as easy. That's when I knew for sure this was something beyond my realm of expertise. What is this room? Old x-ray room, lead walls. After I realized this whole situation was a possibility, I had the doors reinforced with special remote controlled locks. Glad it could finally come in handy. You and Dr. Kelly sit in silence and wait for her son to make his way to the safe room. The sound of distant breaking glass cuts through the silence of the clinic outside the safe room. Shit, this might be game time. Dr. Kelly opens the door. The two of you stare out into the hallway. Oh. Why, hello, Bojack. Is this what you were so afraid of? Hand over the tranquilizers. This is our shot. I'm giving them to her. Dr. Kelly quickly loads him to her gun, leveling the barrel at her son. Pop! Thank God. Dr. Kelly sighs heavily, staring down at the warped figure of her son. I can drag him into the safe room on my own. I'll meet you out in the front when I'm done. All right, well, I'll leave you to it. You turn to the entrance of the clinic. Everything is quiet now, only streaks of paint where Reese's minions had once roiled out of cracks in the wood. I hope you understand that this needs to stay between us. I don't care how much you feel like you need to share what just happened with other people. The more people know about this, the more trouble this is for me and for him. I don't need any more well-intentioned escape plans. Someone needs to kill him. It'd be better for everyone, Reese included. Stuck alone and poisoned in that tiny cage is no way to live. I don't care what kind of monster he is, Dodger. He's still my kid. I'm not going to give up on him so easily. As much as I'd love to stand around chatting, I have to get to work. Gotta clean this place up as best I can before tomorrow. And you should probably get home. It's dark. I'm sure your cousin is worried about you. No offense, but I'm not a hugger. See you later, Dodger. I tried. She firmly escorts you to the door. It closes behind you. The night is oddly warm compared to the chill of the day. Crickets singing quietly in the sleepy little neighborhood. Everything that happened in the clinic feels almost like a dream, and now that it's over, you realize how little it meshes with your understanding of the world. Go home. But before you can get far, you're interrupted by the sound of panting and the telltale jingling of dog tags. It's the militia. They've poured out of the woods to stand before you on the road. You were looking for Gretchen's human, weren't you? We found her. She's by the side of the road, a little ways through the woods. She's unharmed, but she wouldn't leave when we tried to make her, so we'll have to take you to her. Hopefully you can use your people words to get her to someplace safe. The woods are crawling with those awful creatures. It's not safe anymore, not even for a human. Your people words. You are very, very good dogs. Lead the way. Yes, we are good dogs. Hear that, Scraps? I'm not in it for the accolades, Daisy. I just do it to help those who need it. We found Stella! You let the dogs lead you into the woods, following on their heels as they take you to Stella's hideaway. It's gonna be where her parents died. Before long, the trees thin, and you find yourself on a steep hill by a two-lane road, lined on one side by sheer rock. And there, sitting on a log, staring mournfully out at the asphalt, is Stella. And there she is. Keep her safe. He's seeing you, speaker. You sit on the log beside Stella. Dodger, how did you... She looks over her shoulder in confusion. Is that a gang of dogs? This is where your parents died, isn't it? I don't want to talk about that. I think I just want to go home. This is where your parents died, isn't it? Come on, let's just go back to town. She doesn't need to hear about it for tonight. The two of you walk back to town in silence. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Time for you to get home too. He appears as if out of nowhere, his clothes streaked with what at first looks like blood and gore, but you quickly realize it's paint. evidence of his altercation with Reese. I'll walk you. Thanks, I appreciate the company. Shall we? Wayne walks just ahead of you in near complete silence. We can flirt with Wayne? Isn't he dead already? Why me? Why am I so special? You simply are. Do you not feel the ties that bind us? They are unbreakable. Seems like Reese gave you a run for your money. Wayne emits a strange kind of coughing sound. You realize he's laughing, and he managed to catch me off guard. Those constructs of his were an interesting little trick, but that's all they were. Did you know Reese was like that? I knew he was different. How exactly, I wasn't sure, but now I know. Why are you following me around? Why not Stella or Kanika or Sybil? Why not Tabitha? Because you're special. I thought you wanted me to stay at the estate. Aren't you going to lecture me? You were free to make your own decisions, and those decisions have been made. I know that something pulls at you. I know that now you cannot stop until your task is finished. I'll keep you safe while you do what you must. You don't need to keep coming up with new topics of conversation to fill the silence. You're tired. It's been a long night. You should sleep. Or you should rest. Wayne remains silent for the rest of the journey back to the estate. I'm sure we'll see each other tomorrow. You should try to spend some time in that old building before you head to town. Tabitha won't be around, too busy at the mines. Forbidden places won't be forbidden without her there to stop you, and you might be surprised at what you find. Until then, sleep well. I believe this brings us to the end of episode 4. The estate feels empty, wind howling in its abandoned halls, the very foundations creaking beneath you. Your cousin must have already gone to bed. Go to bed. Exhausted beyond belief, you stumble into your room and collapse on the bed. The damp smell of the mattress is starting to become almost welcoming, a sign that now the daily horrors of Scarlet Hollow are finally behind you. At least until the sun inevitably rises once again. You close your eyes, your exhausted body succumbing to sleep almost immediately. As you drift off, you think of Reese trapped in that tiny, windowless room. All his greatest fears realized, his body no longer his own. But you stopped him from killing Dr. Kelly. The world, at least for now, is protected from him. And then you think of nothing. Danielle, we have hit the end. They're selling Wayne plushies? Oh my god. Oh my god, that's actually hilarious. I'm not getting a Wayne plush. But that is hilarious. Hey. And with that, I believe we will end this stream. You still there, Danielle, or did you Did you stop watching? I will assume you are consumed with a deep grief over what could have been. I will leave you to it. I will talk to you later, Danielle. See you.